The shot you see now, medium size of the start-finish line, with competitors grouped around the officials before the beginning of this dream, miracle, mile of the century, whatever you want to call it. Here's a quick wrap-up now for you of lane positions, names, and numbers. In lane number 1, number 300, Landy of Australia. Lane number 2, number 154, Ferguson of Canada. Lane 3, number 548, Halberg of New Zealand. Lane 4, number 632, Milligan of North Ireland. Lane number 5, number 329, Bannister of England. Lane 6, number 331, Boyd of England. Lane 7, number 346, Law of England. And on the outside lane, number 8, Baillie, number 544 of New Zealand. That's your last rundown. The official's whistle has blown. We'll be going to work in just a moment. Landy is 300, Halberg is 548, Milligan is 632, Bannister is 329. That is definitely not an indication that those 4 men are the men to watch, because the other 4 are fine competitors. But those are the names that you have heard and read about for a long, long time. The call on your marks. The officials are asking for quiet from the crowd. We are away and running. The question is today whether Bannister's tremendous finishing kick, that is Baillie of New Zealand, who moved into the front, whether Bannister's tremendous finishing kick in the last quarter can offset the blistering pace that Landy likes to set. Landy is currently running 4th. Bannister is behind him. Baillie of New Zealand is still the number 1 man. They are down the middle of the backstretch. England, represented by David Law, has moved in front. And Landy has made a move early that has got the crowd gasping just a little bit and wondering what kind of a pace he is going to try and set. John Michael Landy of Australia, unofficially the world's record holder at 3:58, set in Turku, Finland, is the number 1 man right now. We'll give you quarter-by-quarter times. Landy has a lead of at least 5 yards. Approximately 58.6 unofficially for the first quarter. So the race develops now. Is Landy going to hold this all the way around? And if he does, can he offset Bannister's tremendous last quarter? Bannister actually in a slow mile race was once time 53 and 8/10 seconds for the last lap. A colossal final quarter. The lead remains the same, and Mr. Bannister is not going to be outdistanced too far. He is the number 2 man. Landy is holding it, coming around the turn. If anything, it may have been lengthened just a little bit. Halberg is running 3rd. Rich Ferguson of Canada is running 4th as they come down the stretch for the half-mile mark. Landy, Bannister, Rich Ferguson of Canada, and Halberg 4th. 1:58 unofficially for the first half mile. And there is beginning to come from the crowd a constant roar of approval and encouragement to their particular favorites. Landy and Bannister are now beginning to pull away from the rest of the pack, but the gap remains almost the same between the first 2 men. Landy just took a look over his left shoulder to see where Bannister was, and Bannister is starting to close it. Ferguson of Canada is 3rd, Halberg is 4th, both men running easily, but the race is between the 2 top men in the world at this moment. The gap is cut now to about 3 or 4 strides, and Bannister is beginning to make a move at Landy. The bell lap, a quarter of a mile to go. 3:58.7 is the unofficial time for three quarters. Landy still hanging on. He is about 5 feet in front. Rich Ferguson of Canada is a good third. Halberg is dropping back to fifth. Landy is putting it on now as well as Bannister. It is very definitely a two-man race. The gap is about 5 feet, no more. Bannister is kicking very definitely. He's passing Landy. Landy looks the wrong way. Dr. Roger Gilbert Bannister of England over John Michael Landy of Australia, 1-2. And Rich Ferguson of Canada was third. What else do you say? We have unofficially here 3:58.9, which I ask you to remember in all this excitement is definitely unofficial. Bannister, with that marvelous, look at that man run now. He's running up to Landy to pat him on the back, shake his hand. Two tremendous competitors, and there's no other thing you can say. Well, I promise you, you'll go a long, long time before you see another event like that. With all the heart-stopping thrills that were involved in it, and Bannister's finishing kick, the one everybody worried about and wondered about, came through.